You are sitting comfortably on a flight at 35,000 feet. Suddenly, the seatbelt sign turns on. The plane begins to shake. Your drink starts vibrating on the tray table. Then the aircraft suddenly drops a few feet. Passengers grip their seats, some panic, and many wonder, is the plane about to crash? In reality, what you are experiencing is turbulence, a normal and surprisingly common part of flying. But what actually happens to an airplane during turbulence, and why does it sometimes feel so scary? Let's find out. Turbulence happens when an airplane passes through irregular air currents. Air might seem invisible and calm, but the atmosphere is constantly moving with rising air, sinking air, wind shear, and temperature differences. When an aircraft encounters these unstable air movements, it begins to shake, bounce, or shift slightly. Think of it like a boat traveling across waves in the ocean, except instead of water waves, the plane is moving through waves in the air. Airplanes fly by generating lift through their wings, a concept explained by Bernoulli's principle. When air flows smoothly over the wings, the aircraft remains stable, but turbulence disrupts the smooth airflow. The result, small changes in lift, slight altitude shifts, vibrations through the aircraft structure. Even though it may feel dramatic to passengers, the aircraft is designed to handle these forces easily. Not all turbulence is the same. Pilots deal with several different types. Clear air turbulence. This is the most surprising kind. Clear air turbulence occurs in cloudless skies, usually near high altitude jet streams. Because there are no visual clues, pilots often cannot see it coming. Thermal turbulence. This type happens when the sun heats the ground. Warm air rises while cooler air sinks, creating vertical currents. Planes flying through these rising columns of air may feel like they are briefly lifted or dropped. Mechanical turbulence. This occurs near mountains or tall structures. When wind hits obstacles, it creates swirling air patterns. A classic example occurs near mountain ranges like the Rocky Mountains or the Himalayas. Wake turbulence. When a large aircraft flies through the sky, the wings create powerful swirling air currents. These are called wake turbulence. This is why air traffic controllers maintain safe spacing between aircraft. How much does a plane actually move? Movies often exaggerate turbulence. In reality, even during strong turbulence, the aircraft usually moves only a few meters vertically. Modern airliners like the Boeing 787 Dreamliner or the Airbus A350 are designed to flex and absorb turbulence. In fact, airplane wings are built to bend dramatically without breaking. This flexibility helps them absorb energy instead of transferring it directly to passengers. Why the turbulence feels worse than it is? Our bodies are extremely sensitive to sudden motion. Inside the cabin, several things amplify the feeling. Loose objects shaking, rattling overhead bins, sudden altitude changes, the lack of visual reference. Because passengers cannot see the air currents outside, the shaking feels unpredictable and frightening. But for pilots, turbulence is simply another routine flight condition. How pilots handle turbulence? Pilots use several tools to avoid or reduce turbulence. They receive weather radar data, satellite forecasts, reports from other aircraft. These reports are called pilot reports. If turbulence reported ahead, pilots can change altitude, adjust route, slow the aircraft. Slowing the aircraft to turbulence penetration speed reduces stress on the plane. Can turbulence bring down a plane? The short answer is almost never. Modern aircraft are built with enormous safety margins and must pass extreme structural tests before entering service. For example, during testing, airplane wings are bent upward to nearly 150% of their maximum expected stress. Aircraft like Boeing 777 or Airbus A320 routinely fly through turbulence safely every day. In fact, aviation experts say turbulence has never caused a modern commercial aircraft to break apart in normal flight conditions. The real risk: passenger injuries. While the aircraft itself is rarely in danger, turbulence can still cause injuries. Most injuries occur when passengers are not wearing seat belts. During sudden turbulence, passengers can be thrown upward. Objects may fall from overhead bins. Drinks and trays can become airborne. That's why airlines advise keeping your seatbelt fastened when you are seated, even if the seatbelt sign is off. Can turbulence be predicted? Scientists are developing better ways to detect turbulence before planes reach it. New technologies include advanced weather satellites, aircraft-based sensors, AI turbulence prediction systems. Researchers are also studying how jet streams influence clear air turbulence. As climate patterns change, some scientists believe turbulence could become more common on certain routes, which makes these detection technologies even more important. Turbulence may feel frightening when you are thousands of feet above the ground, but in reality, it's simply the result of an aircraft flying through moving air currents in a dynamic atmosphere. Airplanes are designed to handle it, pilots are trained to manage it, and most of the time it's nothing more than a few bumps in the sky. So, the next time your flight begins to shake, remember it might feel dramatic, but for aviation professionals, it's just another normal part of flying. Please like, share, subscribe, and click on bell icon. Please comment your viewpoint in the comment section.